Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery with IIMFL and Smart Money Alliance. It's my pleasure to visit with you this morning. It's 7:59 a.m. Central on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. As you likely know, we get together most weekdays, Mondays through Fridays at this time, with our distribution partners. We have three primary types of distribution partners, don't we? We have affiliates. Free and easy to be an affiliate. Who wouldn't want to be an affiliate? And we're going to talk about that more so as we go through the training today. Secondly, we have our esteemed credit literacy educators. They are focused on helping individuals better understand and improve their credit literacy and improve their credit scores through Credit Boost. And we will talk more about that here momentarily. And then we have the cream of the crop, our joint venture incubator partners. We're essentially in a 50-50 split of net income with them. They run incubators. They are the leadership team. So with that being said, our topic today, as demonstrated here on the email that I sent out to each of you this morning, are best practices for team building to generate a passive income. We are not an MLM. We are not network marketing, but we do have generous override incomes. And that's important, I think, for each of you to assimilate, because there's only so much time in the day. There's only so many people that you can help. But by connecting with others, you can help many more clients and you can make infinitely more income. Furthermore, by connecting with others, some of them might even be better at connecting with clients than what you are. And I know that's true for me. Many of you are better at connecting with clients than I am. So I don't take offense to that. So by building a team, you have more tentacles out into the marketplace, more lead development, more clients generated, and more income coming to you. Do you have to build a team? Absolutely not. And frankly, it doesn't really matter to me, but a number of you had questions yesterday regarding this. And so here we are talking about it today. So at least listen to how it works and some of the best practices, and then you can make your own educated decision. The first thing that I want to cover is I don't want you to get lost in the forest in terms of our model. So think of it as just simply two different campaigns that we offer. And you can be plugging into one or both, or I guess neither, but there's just two campaigns. The Access to Capital campaign and the Credit Boost campaign. Can they overlap? Certainly, but I'll come back to that in a moment. What is Access to Capital about? It's about helping entrepreneurs, whether they be pre-revenue, startup, or existing, access capital. What's the pitch line? Well, no upfront cost, a minimum of $100,000 capital raise guarantee, no minimum credit score, and no minimum time in business to participate. That is very strong. If you are good at marketing at all, you will generate the goal, which is at least one new client per day, 30 a month, which is going to make you adult money. If you're not a good marketer, that's okay. Then build a team, as I was mentioning a moment ago, of people that are good at marketing, that are good at broadcasting, that are good at educating, and let them do the work. You manage the team and make overrides. So you can't fail, or you can do the combination of the two. But this is a very strong pitch. Again, no upfront cost to the client, no cost to enroll, minimum of $100,000 guaranteed, but that's not the maximum. Could be as much as they qualify for, and they don't have to have any minimum credit scores or minimum time in business. So this Access to Capital is an offering that our affiliates are out primarily focused on. So those of you that are affiliates, free and easy to become an affiliate, make a ton of money, which we'll talk about more in detail here in a minute. This is your main proposition to the marketplace. And then, of course, our credit literacy educators don't worry about access to capital unless they're also an affiliate or unless they're also a joint venture incubator partner. So the access to capital. Now, this is going to get a little deeper here. There are 3 implementation models of access to capital. I don't think that we've ever educated on this distinction before, so please pay close attention. So the default is you just refer people into your landing page, or as you can see at the bottom of every page of the IIMFL website, there's an inquiry form, and you put in the prospect's name, email, phone, referred by you, and then of course they're interested in capital, and then submit. If you have a landing page, you wouldn't have to go to this inquiry form, you'd have your own landing page. But regardless, that's all that you do. You don't have any other responsibilities of servicing the client, maintaining the client. You know exactly what's going to happen afterwards, right? We're going to send them the DocuSign for the access to capital, which costs how much to start? Nothing. 0 upfront cost. We will copy you on that DocuSign. So you'll know when they started the program because they execute it and you get a copy of it. So you know, okay, here's a client that enrolled. If you don't have an executed DocuSign, then they haven't enrolled, or for some reason we didn't copy you on it accidentally, so you can check with us. But in general, 99.9% of the time, if you didn't receive an executed copy of the DocuSign, then they've never signed it. Now, the way that we use DocuSign is we use reminders. And so they're going to get a prompting once a day for up to 120 days saying, please complete, please complete, please complete. Now, if they need more information, they have questions, of course, we're happy to help them. If they just don't want to receive it anymore, then they can void it out. But most will execute it. Maybe not on the first day, but they keep getting promptings. So first implementation model, just refer in either to the landing page that you have or our inquiry form that's at the bottom of every page within the IIMFL website. Every page has it. And then we'll take it from there. Now, let's get into some other alternative implementation models. The second, and we talked about this on a recent training, is you can actually teach the small business certification. So let's go up here. Let's go click on small business certification. So the small business certification includes the same 4-week curriculum as access to capital, but it doesn't include the funding. So it includes the education and it includes the loan packaging. And then at the conclusion of this 4-week process, then they can decide if they want our help to help them get funded, and we'll decide if we want to work with them to get funded. When you're enrolling people directly into the small business certification, which again is a page here on the website, then there is an upfront fee. It is $396, the equivalent of $99 a week, 99 times 4. They're going to either be able to go through this individually or as a group. And we're going to talk about each of those. So we'll talk about individual first, then I'll back into the class. So individually, you can pitch this. You will collect the $396. They will pay your business. You are an entrepreneur, regardless if you're an affiliate, an educator, or a joint venture partner. They're going to pay you the $396, and then you're going to keep half. You're going to forward half to us, and then all we need is their name and email, and then we can implement and get started. So why that's important is that gets money in your pocket right now. Right? So if you did the same model of bringing on one client a day over 30 days, and you generate gross $400 a pop, so 400 times 30 days, you're bringing in 12 grand for the month if you choose to enroll them in the small business certification rather than the full access to capital. The first 4 weeks is much the same. They have no further obligation. There is no guaranteed capital raise because in the small business certification, we're not promising to do funding, but we complete the 4 weeks and then we can enroll them into a funding agreement as a second phase or a second step. They would have no upfront cost for that. and then they would just pay the 6% performance fee, which would be shared with you. Okay, so we've covered the basic, which is enroll them into the full access to capital. We drop down here to the third bullet, which is to have them go through this online curriculum, which they progress through once a week. It's the same 4-week curriculum that they get at the beginning of the full access to capital. It just does not include the funding. It's more of an educational pitch, educational message, I guess. And then the third scenario, which is listed second on the email, I apologize, and this is what we did emphasize just a few weeks ago, is that if in your geographic area, they're starting to open up and allow small group meetings, we can work together, set up in-person classes for 20 or more people, work through churches, chambers, different types of hosts. The hosts provide the space, the host have the potential audience, and with those numbers, $400 times at least 20 brings in 8,000 gross. You get half, we get half. We cover our own travel expense. They'll send me or one of the other trainers out with you, and we'll train that together. So this is in person, notice. So this is done in one day. So instead of week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, this is first part of day 1, second part of day 1, third part of day 1, and fourth part of day 1. We knock it out in a day. Typically those are offered on Saturdays, but they don't have to be. So we've done many of these, obviously prior to the pandemic. Some areas are opening up, some not yet. Some are willing to schedule for March or April. If we don't end up with at least 20 people registered for in-person, then they default down to the online curriculum, same curriculum. But if we don't have at least 20, then we're not going to send a trainer out. So those are 3 different implementation models accomplishing much the same. However, keep in mind, on the first one, you're making no upfront money. You're waiting until they have their first capital raise, which triggers comp to you. Unless you're a licensed insurance agent, then you'll be writing the policy in month 1. Where scenarios 2 and 3, you're getting paid up front. You're getting paid as they register for the group class, or you're getting paid as they enroll individually into this. But for bullets 2 or 3, you're collecting the money. On bullet 1, no one's collecting the money up front because there is no upfront cost. So why are we talking about this now? A couple reasons. You need to understand that there's 3 different implementation models. Secondly, you need to know that live in-person groups are great if your community is open back up based upon restrictions, COVID related. And third is, if you need money now, then pitch the small business certification. It's a great value. You can go through and see the whole value proposition, but you can pitch this to them, collect the $396 now. Start putting money into your bank account now rather than waiting. Okay, that's the first campaign, access to capital, 3 different implementation models. The second campaign is Credit Boost. I think most of you are probably pretty familiar with it. There's also no upfront cost to the client, which makes it very easy to enroll people. We're going to typically add 100 points in the first 30 to 60 days. We are not credit repair. Instead, we add new positive credit, both revolving and installment. And of course, we have the loan program that we just announced yesterday that puts money in their pocket now. If you missed yesterday's training, you can go to the career tab, and here's the January 11th, 2021 training that went through it. It's right here on the career tab. Any of you that are credit literacy educators or considering becoming one, these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 videos here are extremely important for you to be familiar with. So if you are a credit literacy educator, you should know this information. If you're considering becoming one, I would watch these 5 to understand what we do. So the credit boost proposition is to boost their credit scores and move them often from subprime to prime, allowing them to be able to qualify for mortgages, car financing, business loans, what have you. And in general, having good credit is a smart thing to do. It's going to save you money. It's going to increase your options. And so much in our world right now, for better or worse, is partially derived based upon our credit scores. For a credit boost, the way to refer them in, it's super simple. Any of you that are a credit literacy educator, we've provided a landing page. That's where you send them in. If you're an affiliate, you're really not empowered to promote credit boost. You need to be a credit literacy educator. With that being said, you can go to the home page, and that inquiry form that we talked about is on here, and it does give an option for people that want to boost their credit. So hypothetically, you could feed people in through the inquiry form as well. It's best to use your landing page. Last point I want to make on this campaign topic. So there's some overlap, right? Because when people go through the access to capital, so again, access to capital is for entrepreneurs. Maybe they haven't started yet, maybe they have, but regardless, it's with the intent to get capital to start or grow a business. In contrast, credit boost can be anyone that would benefit from better credit, because with better credit, we have the better ability to qualify for anything financed. With that being said, in access to capital, we do in week 2 look at their personal credit. Doing a soft inquiry doesn't affect their score. And so if someone's enrolled in access to capital and their credit is not credible, then we will most likely recommend credit boost. So some of you are referring lots of people in. Thumbs up, thank you for that. But some of you are referring lots of people in for both of these programs. And I don't think that makes sense, right? Because if they're coming into access to capital, we'll organically see if they need and would benefit from credit boost in week 2. So you don't need, if they're coming into access to capital, you don't need to refer them in for credit boost. It'll happen automatically. You'll get the same credit. It's just part of the 4-week process. If someone is not looking for access to capital to start or grow a business, they're just wanting credit assistance, then of course, credit boost is the right fit. But hopefully you can see that there's no reason to refer someone in for both programs. Refer them in if they're looking for capital for a business, only to access to capital. If they don't need access to capital for a business, all they want is improved credit, then credit boost. You see? It's redundant to send them in on both. And then we're kind of stuck because we get an inquiry with 2 different programs listed. It's like, well, which one do we send them? Because we don't want to be sending them both DocuSigns right away. That'll overwhelm them. Okay, next, we want to make sure that you understand how you're paid on overrides. So again, we're not network marketing, we're not MLM, but we have great overrides, and it's important that you understand how that works. So in the access to capital overrides, your primary override is based upon the performance fee that is based on the amount of capital that they raise. In contrast, on credit boost, you're getting overrides on the performance fee based upon how much we've improved their credit. Granted, if the client is in access to capital and then also needs credit boost, you will get paid for both of those. But both in the access to capital and the credit boost, we pay 3 levels deep. That's very important to understand. So you're level 1. So if you do have a direct referral, you're paid, of course, the most. But you could bring in someone, an affiliate, a credit literacy educator that refers in a client. They get paid the frontline commission. You get paid override. Well, that seems equitable, right? Because you brought them to the table. But even better is if that person brings in another person, so that's the 3rd tier now, that 3rd person gets the direct revenue for them, for their direct production. Whomever brought them in gets an override, and you still get the same override as that 2nd person. So it's an affiliate model, not network marketing, 3 levels deep. 1st level is the direct production source, 2 levels of overrides, and that's huge. It's huge because a number of you are connecting with key influencers that can bring a lot of volume. You got EJ, he's got a guy coming on that says, we'll see, he's going to bring on 600 credit boost clients a month, not because he's so confident that he can go drum up those leads. He already has a lead generation system, and that's the point. You need to find, in addition to just finding someone off the street that's looking for extra income, which is fine, it's the key influencers, those people that are already plugged into the target audience, whether it be small business owners or people looking for better credit. Okay, so we've covered that. Let's move on down to the next. We need to make sure, and we covered this, what I thought, in great detail on a recent training, but we continue to get questions, so let's review it again. We use a software system called Post Affiliate Pro for managing our affiliate network, managing commissions, and so forth. Each of you should be signed up as an affiliate, even if you're a credit literacy educator, even if you're a joint venture partner, also get signed up as an affiliate. You say, well, how do I do that? We go to the career tab. We're to scroll all the way down. And you can see right here is the affiliate information with click here to get started. Now, you won't want to send other people here because once you signed up as an affiliate, you'll have your own login, which will give you a unique link that you would give to them, because then when they sign up, then they're automatically in your hierarchy. This one here is going to bring you in to what's called the parent position. So you would be cutting yourself out of it if you sent people here. Instead, you're going to log into Post Affiliate Pro. Once you're an affiliate, you'll see a sub-affiliate link, which we've covered on a prior training, and you give them that. And then secondly, so that's step one. I guess that should be a 1 instead of a little bullet. And then secondly, then you're going to go ahead and drop their name, their email, and their phone in. It doesn't matter about the referred by, and I'll explain in a moment, and say, yep, I want to be a credit literacy educator, the second from the bottom. So then we'll send them the DocuSign. You might say, well, why does it not matter if they didn't list referred by you? It doesn't matter because they're already in your comp hierarchy over in Post Affiliate Pro. It doesn't matter who they list here, or if they list no one here, they're already in your hierarchy because we accomplished that through Post Affiliate Pro, which is where the comp is paid out of. So 2 steps when you're adding people. First, add them into your Post Affiliate Pro using your unique link. And then secondly, drop their information over here if they also want to be a credit literacy educator. It's highly advisable that they all become credit literacy educators, but they technically don't have to be. We talked about the 2 campaigns a moment ago. If they're only an affiliate, then they can only promote access to capital. If they're an affiliate and a credit literacy educator, which is what we encourage, we promote, we recommend, then they can do both, make money off of access to capital and credit boost, which means you make override income off of both. If you don't get them signed up as a credit literacy educator, then they can't pitch credit boost, and then you can't make overrides from credit boost from their production, you see? Okay, so we've covered that. Again, if there's any questions, feel free to put it into the Q&A box here on Zoom. Okay, so let's talk more about life insurance and licensed agents. You do not need to be a licensed agent to be an affiliate with us. You do not need to be a licensed agent to be a credit literacy educator with us. You do not need to be a licensed agent to be a joint venture incubator partner. It's not required. However, there is an insurance component involved with capital raises, and it's called a collateral assignment, commonly referred to as a key person policy. Well, it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. If a client is building out their loan package, then having a business plan is automatic. Having financial projections is automatic. Having a key person policy for a collateral assignment is automatic. So with that being said, if you know any licensed life insurance agents, they would be great to add in your hierarchy as an affiliate to go promote access to capital, and or a credit literacy educator to promote credit boost. Because in addition to them getting the normal income, in addition to you getting the normal overrides, now there's a whole nother flow of commissions that they will qualify for as a licensed agent. So it doesn't conflict with you. They will just have even more reason to go out and generate clients and make you override income on either of these programs. So let's scroll back to where we were. So licensed insurance agents, number one, they don't have any upfront cost anymore. We've discontinued that model, so that removes the barrier. They get free leads, which a lot of times they're out paying for. I know I've been a licensed agent since 1996. And so during that time, I've been involved with different distribution models where I had to pay for leads. And I'm not saying that's wrong or bad, but in our model, they do not have to pay for leads. So that is a major benefit, especially since they don't have to pay anything to work with us. We have an education focus. A lot of them are going to like this. There's really no selling of insurance because it's just a checkbox, right? If you want a completed loan package, you need to have a business plan, financial projections, this, that, and a collateral assignment. It becomes very easy conversation, educational, consultative. It's all about the 3 C's. Remember, we've talked about the 3 C's so many different times. What do you need to do if you want to qualify for debt-based capital? You need to have as many of the 3 C's as possible: credit worthiness, cash flow, collateral. Do you have to have all 3 C's? No, there's different sources of capital, but the more of the 3 C's you have, the better off. And the key person policy is part of the 3rd C, the collateral. So you can see that it fits nicely. What we've evolved to, and it's not always been the case, I'll tell you that, but it is simplified underwriting now. Thank goodness. So it's literally about 10 minutes to write the application. The agents can do that remotely or in person, but in today's environment, we're writing policies all across the country, so remote is just fine. We have guaranteed issue policies. Gone are the days of wondering, well, I wonder if the person will qualify because of their weight or prior health history or their medications, or we've seen people decline because of their driving record. We've seen people decline because of their credit for life insurance. It's crazy. But guaranteed issue is what we do now. Beautiful, beautiful. Great compensation, so they will be excited about that. No chargebacks, and that's the kiss of death for most insurance agents. Oh, sure, I can go write a bunch of policies, but if I have a bunch of chargebacks, I could end up in the hole. So strong value proposition if you know any insurance agents that can become your sub-affiliates. The typical insurance agent with us will write 20 to 30 policies a month, and they'll earn about $10,000 a month. So this is not some get-rich-quick scheme where they pay some money. There's no cost to be an agent with us, and it's not that they're going to be a millionaire next year. You know, that's too good to be true. It's possible, but it's not probable. But instead, for the typical insurance agent, they'll write 20 to 30 policies a month. They'll make around $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year on a very part-time basis. So I think you'll find that proposition will interest a lot of insurance agents that then become part of your team, that become a sub-affiliate of yours, that become a sub-credit literacy educator of yours. They're out doing their thing, producing, making money, and guess what happens? You're making overrides. Okay, what is the process to add insurance agents? First, drop them into your post-affiliate pro hierarchy. We've talked about that already. Then you're going to submit them in on the inquiry page, which is on each page of the website, so we can get them set up as a credit literacy educator. Again, you can put referred by you here, but it really doesn't matter because we'll already have you hard loaded in Post Affiliate Pro as their master, if you will, you're the master affiliate. You're above their position, so you'll be paid automatically, even if your name's not on here. And then you'll have them get with us and let us know that they want to write policies, and then we'll get them contracted. Again, no cost to do so. All right, so last learning objective for today as we wrap it up. We would like you to be aware of some best practices in how to support your team in being trained and supported. So let's go through these bullets briefly. Number one is we provide free landing pages for all credit literacy educators, so they don't have to come over here and drop in credit boost leads here and check the box, the bottom box, and put in referred by. They would have their own landing page. We also create landing pages on the Access to Capital, which is the other campaign, and that's available as long as our distribution partner is actually going through the Access to Capital program himself or herself, because that's the best training we can provide, is for them to go through the steps. Doesn't cost them anything up front, right? So that's not a barrier. If they don't want to participate, they don't want to learn it from a client's perspective, they don't want $100,000, then they can just refer people on the inquiry form. Okay, so landing pages, we've covered. Free for Credit Boost, free for Access to Capital. Two different campaigns. Now you might say, well, where's the landing page for the small business certification we were talking about? Well, we don't build a landing page for it because you're closing these deals like we talked about. If you're enrolling them in small business certification, they're paying you. So we don't need you to feed them in on a landing page so we can go contract with them and collect the money. You're collecting the money from them. So these leads need to come directly to you, not to us. That's why there's not a landing page for the small business certification. It's a different economic model. This puts money in your pocket immediately, thus you collect the money. All right, so we have the daily Zoom trainings most weekdays, 7:59 a.m. Central when we start. We're on one, recording one right now. Training library, certainly encouraging them to go to the career tab and watching the videos. So we have the credit literacy educator are the first 5 lessons. And then we have more information that's about joint venture partners, but also it addresses a lot about the Access to Capital program, and there's numerous training videos there. So there's great training available that they could frankly view before they come aboard, but certainly you'd want to encourage them to do so afterwards. What you and I know is a lot of people aren't too diligent. They'll just skim by. So you can decide how much of an active coach and mentor you want to be. Maybe you recruit 10 new team members and you have more of an organized way of going through that material, or you can just give them the link and let them go on their own. That is up to you. Best practices, webinars. We talk about education is valuable, so we encourage our distribution partners to teach. We used to do a lot of in-person teaching. Now it tends to be more Zoom-based. But for instance, if you go to the home page, you can see the 27 mistakes. This is a great presentation to teach via Zoom and create a funnel. So some of your team members may feel comfortable in leading Zoom-based education. Maybe they just want to set it up. They make some opening comments. They play the on-demand video that we've already recorded, and then they close it. It's up to them. But the point is, webinars and education is a great way to build a funnel and educate people. B&I is a formal networking group, Business Networking International. We have no financial involvement with them, but it's one of the best practices. And so I encourage all of you to at least attend 1 or 2 B&I networking sessions, which you can do for free, and see if you agree with us that it would be a great way to help you generate leads. Adding key influencers to your team is valuable. Again, we have overrides. And so adding pastors and realtors and so forth can be very effective in creating a strong funnel. We got a few of you that are very diligent about getting on these webinars, but you're producing like no volume. And that's madness, right? There's so much need. So if you're just not a good marketer, then bring people that are good marketers onto your team. All right, recruit insurance agents. We've talked about why there's just such a strong value proposition for insurance agents. And so they can be often, Aflac agents, Colonial agents, and general health insurance, life insurance agents. They tend to be extroverted. They tend to be comfortable in lead generation. We can provide them leads to call. So certainly a best practice would be to recruit insurance agents on your team. They get double benefit. They'll sell more insurance, plus also they'll create passive income for you from the programs. And then I don't want to overlook the fact that you'll probably find on average about half of the clients that you bring in also would like to get paid to educate others. So let's do that math for a second. So let's say in a given month, you bring on 30, we'll just say credit boost clients. Chances are half of them, around half, 15, will want to also be credit literacy educators on your team because they want to go help others. They want to make money. Well, think about that. If you followed that pattern over the course of this year, 2021, you added 15 new educators a month. That's 180 by the end of the year. And I know some people will just kick the tires and won't do anything, but there'll be some that really produce well. Well, darn, if you have 180 on your team, even if only 10% were producing on a consistent basis. So what 10% of 180 is 18. So let's do the math for that. So let's say you end up with only 18 active. You don't really know who's going to produce, who's not. So you invite everyone to join your team. And again, about half of your clients will want to join your team. So if we have 18 that's actually producing, and you know that you make an average of $3,000 override per producing team member per month, that would put you at over $50,000 of override per month, based upon an assumption that only 10% of your team members produce, which is the average of one a day. And that is drawing only from the clients that want to be involved as well. So those are some best practices. Lastly, goal setting. Goal setting is important. We recommend a real simple goal. Have a goal of 1 conversion a day. So if you're focused on the campaign for access to capital, again, no upfront cost, $100,000 guarantee, no minimum credit scores, no minimum time in business. There's absolutely no reason that a competent person couldn't feed in and enroll 1 access to capital client per day. Conversely, if we're focused on credit boost, no upfront cost, we add an average of 100 points in the first 30 to 60 days. We're not credit repair. We're adding new positive credit, including the new loan program we mentioned yesterday. It puts money in their pocket now. There's no reason that a competent adult couldn't generate at least 1 credit boost client a day. So with that being said, that's what we would recommend, the goal that you set with your team members. And it's okay to set up goals with them and hold them accountable. Now, to a certain extent, they're kind of a volunteer army, right? Because they're 1099, you're not paying them a base pay. But there's nothing wrong with once a week, let's say Sunday evenings, you get your team members together for a webinar and you reemphasize what we trained on the prior week. You review their numbers. Did they hit their goals for the past week? Did they have 7? If not, what assistance do they need? And then talk about plans for the upcoming week. So if you're effective in being a leader, you can actually do more than just plug people in. You can actually help manage team. Okay, so let's go to your questions, comments, concerns, and then we'll wrap this show up. Robert talked about training. Yes, Robert, we are going to come to you in California and do in-person training, right? So you're going to be setting up one of these workshops that we talked about right here. And then we're going to come out and do that 1-day training that you so desire in your backyard. We are coming to you, Robert. We're waiting for you to set the date. So no worries about that. Okay, next. Jim asked regarding credit boost and adding new positive credit that puts money in their pocket now. Well, and so credit boost, what you want to emphasize is really what's on the website here. There's a video here that describes it that's also, Jim, on your landing page. I wouldn't use content that is not prior approved. And so, you don't want to go promise them that they're going to qualify for $1 million mortgage because there's other variables. You don't want to promise them that they're going to qualify for a new Ferrari because there's other mitigating factors. You don't want to promise them that they're going to get $5 million of business loans because there's other mitigating factors. But on credit boost, just educate them what we're doing. Don't overpromise. Just simply explain what we do. There's no upfront cost. There's no risk, and I think you'll do well. In terms of early rounds of funding, we know that we've got the $10,000 revolving account, which is guaranteed issue, and we have the near guaranteed issue installment loan that we talked about yesterday. And if any of you missed that, that is outlined on yesterday's training here. But I wouldn't get involved, Jim, with promising them how much money they're going to get, because while we can help them improve their credit, in fact, we guarantee that we'll help them improve their credit. How that translates into what they do with their credit is beyond our ability and our scope. All right, so Josh says he's not an insurance agent, which is fine. You don't need to be. And he asked if he has an insurance agent in his sub-affiliate hierarchy, which we're talking about, recommending, then you can't get overrides on insurance policies legally if you're not life insurance licensed. So you would not get overrides on insurance unless you're licensed. That's illegal. But you can get overrides on the two different campaigns. So you're not losing anything if you're not licensed. Like, I'm not a licensed realtor. I bought my house. I didn't make any part of that action, but I'm not pissed off about it. I'm not a licensed agent, right? So if you're not a licensed agent, a life insurance agent, then you're not going to get in that revenue stream. That would be illegal for you to do. Otherwise, it would violate state insurance laws. But if you want to get in that flow, then the obvious answer is get licensed. But I'm not recommending that or distracting you with that. Okay, so Theo asked, for someone with a startup business, if they enroll into Access to Capital, is any part of the 4-week program designed to help them setting up? Well, yes. So let's go back over in the Access to Capital, whether it's the full Access to Capital or just the 4-week curriculum, we are educating them and prepping them on setting up a business properly. So it's just fine if they're coming to us with a clean slate, Theo, or if they have some elements in place or they have everything in place. It's okay. We're going to work with them from wherever they are to get them from that point going forward. So that is perfect. All right. So Joseph asked, are other people asking is it hard to ask for fees? Well, there is no upfront fees for Access to Capital or Credit Boost. Certainly, if you're going to teach the class, then, which is the page we're on here, then there is a fee for that. But, I was a college professor. We asked all those people to pay a fee. It was the equivalent of 3 credit hours to take my class, right? The world revolves around fee-based services. It just so happens that our 2 primary propositions of Access to Capital and Credit Boost are no upfront fees. They're not free programs. We're not promising free programs. We're just saying there's not upfront cost. Instead, they're going to pay based upon results. So, Joseph, I know you fairly well. I don't know if you're well suited to go close deals and collect money or just refer in. Or maybe your calling is just to generate a team and let the team go out and do what they're good at, and you just manage, because you're a people person. I know that, Joseph. So maybe you just become a team leader and you recruit and you have a large team that's out producing, and you manage and support the team. Everyone has to figure out what they're really good at. None of us are perfect at everything. Some of us have gifts in some areas more than others. Okay, are there any other questions that anyone has over this very important information that we covered today? So we've clarified that there's 2 campaigns. Keep it simple in your head. There's only 2 campaigns: the Access to Capital campaign to get money to start or grow a business, Credit Boost campaign to improve personal credit scores. We talked about how you earn overrides. We talked about the procedural process of adding people to your team. We really emphasize that adding licensed insurance agents to your team is smart, 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 because they get the normal money. Plus, they also are writing insurance policies called key person policies, which serve as a collateral assignment. So they get even more money. That's even more reason that they would want to come join your team. It doesn't take anything out of your pocket. It's just going to generate more overrides for you. And they happen to have a separate set of income that they can generate. And then we've talked about best practices of training and supporting your team, including making sure that they know how to use their landing page, to get on the Zoom training or listen to recordings afterwards, to access the on-demand training library, and understanding the best practices of client development. And lastly, it's just really important that you be a team leader. You don't have to be. If you want to be hands-off, you just recruit people and throw them to the wolves, and if that's your style, do that. But many of you have too much skill, too much intellect, too much respect that you don't want to just recruit someone and say, well, good luck. Start having team meetings. Again, Sunday evenings are popular, but you could do them whenever you want, and coach them and train them and encourage them to hit the goal, which is just simply 1 a day. Are there any questions about what we covered, what we didn't cover? But hopefully this was practical information that you can take back and use, because only a fool would say, oh, I don't want to have a team. I'll just do everything myself, because you only have so much time in the day. There's only so many people you can help. But as you start bringing in key influencers that have even a wider sphere of influence than you, you're not competing against them. They go out and do the front line work, and you're just sitting back getting the override income. Who wouldn't want that? It's craziness to not want that. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Let's get at it. Let's get our 1 in for today, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.